The Mauritius-Africa Scholarship Scheme is currently open for applications. So I'm going to do like a mini course and explain to you step by step the application process. We'll start by explaining the advert, and then we'll explain the guidelines for applicants, the application form, how to apply for visa, accommodation, and what to expect here in Mauritius as an international student. I'm currently on the scholarship for my MPhil PhD studies. So I've gone through the application process and I was successful. I was selected for the scholarship. Let's look at the advert and the requirements. I will only be focusing on MPhil, PhD, and PhD. I will not talk a lot about undergraduate because that is not my focus area. Like the first point is about undergraduate, we'll skip that and we'll go straight to the MPhil. So for MPhil, PhD, and PhD programs, if you are confused about these programs, what MPhil means, what is MPhil, PhD, what is PhD, I will do a separate video explaining this program so that you can make an informed decision before you submit your application. It says you should not have reached your 40th birthday by next year, 1 January 2027. That means that you should be less than 40 when on the by the 1st of January 2027 you should be less than 40. You should apply for full-time studies for MPhil or PhD at a public higher education institution. We'll see the list. You should not apply to private institutions because the scholarship only covers students who are admitted at public institutions. This is the duration of the scholarship. If you take MPhil, it will be 2 years plus 6 months for thesis defense. Then MPhil PhD, that is the duration, and PhD, this is the duration. It's a fully funded scholarship, so they will cover your tuition fees. You get a stipend to cover your living expenses, and then also it will cover your airfare, economic route from your country to Mauritius, and then after you complete your studies, back to your country. There are supporting documents that you can download, like application forms and all the documents that I mentioned earlier. You can go to this link. I've also put the link in the video description. You can check it there and make sure to download all the information, all the documents that pertain to the scholarship. And remember to join our community for masters and PhD applicants. The link is also in the video description. There's a document for guidelines for applicants, which we'll go through because it's the most important document. It explains what the scholarship is about and how to apply for the scholarship. And then there's the application form, which will also explain separately how you can fill out the application form. You notice that they keep mentioning nominating agency, meaning that you do not apply to the scholarship directly. You have to apply through a nominating agency. On the link that I spoke about, the official link to the scholarship, you will find a list of nominating agencies. So you have to check the nominating agency in your country, and then you have to apply through that nominating agency. Do not send your application directly to the Ministry of Education in Mauritius because it will not be considered. So the application deadline is 27 March. That is the deadline for the nominating agency, no, for the nominating agency to submit their application, the applications for their selected candidates to Mauritius. Now you have to find out what is the deadline for your nominating agency in your country, because normally it's earlier than the official deadline of the ministry. I hope you understand. Nominating agencies set their own application deadlines within each country. The 27 March that you see here is the deadline for the Ministry of Education here in Mauritius for all the nominating agencies to have submitted applications of the 15 eligible candidates they have selected. Now, you would find that maybe your nominating agency might have an earlier date than 27 March, so you have to find out what the deadline is. So the next video will talk about guidelines for applicants. We'll go through the guidelines in detail so that you understand the conditions of the scholarship, what is the application procedure, and what institutions can you apply for your studies in order to be considered for this scholarship. So please look out for the next video.